John Wick Chapter 2 is the sequel to the 2014 action film John Wick. It is directed yet again by Chad Stahelski and stars yet again Keanu Reeves. It centers around John Wick and his return yet again to the forefront of action when a man betrays him after he disobeys a marker and blows up his house. So by this point, John Wick has pretty much lost everything, and we see him excuse me, at the bottom of the barrel in terms of how he could be living. His wife is gone, his first dog is gone, and now his home is gone. So, he's back in action. Now, audiences were really looking for two things when coming into this movie, myself included. Bigger and better than the first one. Because the first one is good because it knows exactly what it is. It's similar, in my opinion, to Kingsman. Kingsman knows exactly what it is. It's a ridiculous spy comedy that's out of whack completely and sticks with that the whole movie. John Wick knew exactly what it was. It was a crazy, action, brutal, entertaining film, and it keeps that consistent tone for 2 hours. Fans simply wanted bigger and better this time around, and Chad Stahelski clearly knew that, because he delivers that with John Wick Chapter 2. This is everything you loved about the first movie, and it just takes it to the next step. That's what a sequel should do, and this movie achieves that almost flawlessly. The action in this movie is insane. Chad Stahelski, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, his direction in some of these action sequences is ridiculous. The movie is always visually appealing in terms of its action sequences. There's always something cool to look at, and there are so many different shots that warrant this just crazy reaction out of the audience, which is always really fun. That really enhances your theater experience and overall viewpoint on the movie. If the audience is reacting and you're reacting, you're going to like the movie even more. And the action in this movie really delivers that holy shit kind of reaction. Sure, there's some generic baseline action in this movie. That happens in every action movie. But the new things that this movie brings to the table in terms of action really helps to distract you from that and look at the movie in a different viewpoint and go, okay, this is new, this is interesting, I'm intrigued, keep showing me things. That's what the action sort of does in this movie, and like I said, it coincides with the direction, because the sequences in this movie are extremely well directed. Not just the action sequences, but emotional scenes that are really supposed to help you connect with John Wick as a character, are very well directed. Keanu Reeves, would I call it a great performance? No. Keanu Reeves is not a great actor. Nobody ever, I don't think, said he was. You know why he's great in The Matrix and John Wick and Point Break and Speed? It's because he's playing himself. John Wick is a typecast, but he's the best kind of typecast. He's the typecast that works. He's the typecast that we like to see. Melissa McCarthy is the typecast that we don't like to see because it's irritating. When Keanu Reeves is doing what Keanu Reeves does best, which is kicking ass and delivering lines in a funny way, we like it. We're into it. That's what Keanu Reeves does well. But John Wick almost elevates that to the point where John Wick is a character. They make John Wick a character with a backstory, and most importantly, I believe, when watching this kind of movie, solid motivation. John Wick has a solid motivation for doing what he's doing. Sure, you know, anyone that kills 128 people or whatever the fucking body count was in this movie probably has something wrong going on up here. But you do connect with John Wick, and every time he kills someone that sucks, you kind of enjoy it. You're like, yeah, fuck that guy. I'm glad John Wick pulled out a shotgun and blasted his brains out. You know, like, that's what an action movie should be. You should connect with the main character to the point where you forgive their actions because they're the good guy. That's how action movies should be. And the last thing I really liked about this movie that made it awesome for me was the dark comedy. there's a lot of comedy in this movie, and I think a lot of it lands. I don't want to spoil any of it because they actually do a good job not showing a lot of it in the trailer so that when it ends up in the movie, it's still very funny. I think they did a very good job with the comedy. I think that also helps to bring you into the movie because if there's one thing I've learned about filmmaking, if you can make an audience laugh, you can tell them anything. That is a large case with this movie. If you can make an audience laugh, you can show them Keanu Reeves killing people for 2 hours, and I think the movie really does accomplish that. Is this a perfect movie? Of course not. Is this even a fantastic film? No. There are so many continuity errors up my ass. I could list you them and take up the same amount of time in this video that I've taken to tell you how awesome this movie is. But the thing is, a movie like this is allowed to have continuity errors and little minor movie things when it's so entertaining that you just don't care about them. I didn't really even notice some of the continuity flaws until after the movie, and I was driving home and talking to my friends about it, and they pointed some things out that I was like, oh yeah, that doesn't, really make sense. It's a very small thing. But you're not paying attention to that because you're so enthralled into the movie and you're so interested and you're having this awesome experience, and it distracts you from the fact that there are continuity issues with this movie. That's what a great movie does. And this is a great movie. It's nothing short of being a great movie. It's not fantastic, it's not flawless, but it's certainly not any lower than greatness. It's not mediocrity, and it's not bad. So, I would definitely recommend John Wick Chapter 2. If you got nothing to do for 2 hours and you just feel like having a kick-ass experience, John Wick Chapter 2 is certainly the way to go. Maybe not one to take your kids to. The Lego Batman movie might be a better call for that one. But I would highly recommend this movie for action lovers all around. I think you will definitely find a lot of joy in this movie. I think every now and then you need a movie like John Wick Chapter 2. I think that's why Mad Max Fury Road was received so well, was because, in a time period where we're seeing action movies becoming more and more ridiculous and annoying and cliche-filled and stupid, a movie like that took action, made it completely practical, made it completely enthralling, and gave you a solid story behind it is always welcomed with open arms, and I think John Wick is doing great with that. I'm very excited to see Chapter 3 when they inevitably make it as they set up for at the end of the movie. So, what did you guys think? Have you seen John Wick Chapter 2? Have you not seen John Wick Chapter 2? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all next time.